شفاعة لا نعذب بعدها أبدا. اللهم اسقنا من حوضه شربة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. اللهم آمين. محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم طب القلوب ودواؤها وعافية الأبدان وشفاؤها ونور الأبصار وضياؤها. صلى عليك الله يا علم الهدى ما هبت النسائم وما ناحت عليك الحمائم. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Muslims all over the world might be wondering what is going on, what is happening to us Muslims, what is happening in the Muslim land, what is happening to 1.6 billion Muslims all over the world. We all watch the news and follow up what is going on. Yet, we do not understand really what is going on. The main reason we do not have that wonderful and great and proper understanding of what is going on, because maybe we do not put it in its Islamic understanding and its Islamic perspective. If you see anything happening good or bad, just go back to Islam and say what Islam is saying about this. What Quran is teaching us, what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his biography, in his seerah, is teaching us about what is going on in order to draw some lessons, in order to understand what is happening and why it's happening, and so on and so forth. As I have shared with you weeks and weeks back, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to establish the first community, the first state in Medina, after he migrated from Mecca to Medina, he kept in mind deeply in his heart and his soul, and according to the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the Almighty and the guidance of him as a messenger and a prophet and the seal of all prophets and messengers, he kept in mind those three foundations in order to establish a good Muslim, prosperous, successful community in Medina. The masjid, the place of worship, establishing the brotherhood and the sisterhood among Muslims. And the third foundation is the constitution to govern our life on one side as Muslims, and on the other side as non-Muslims around us, how we deal with them, how we establish a relationship with them. And wallahi, studying history really well, and I'm making this oath by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if any of those factors, or three of them combined, are not there to establish a community, there is no community. There is no community. You'll have a divided community, conflicts in this community, fighting in this community. You will never find a community that you can say it has been successful or prosperous or even living in peace together, not fighting. Baytullah, the house of Allah, to learn Islam. Don't tell me I will learn from the internet, websites and so on and so forth. You can. But still, first and foremost, the masjid, the house of Allah. Meet the scholars, have a discussion, have halaqat, have study circle, and discuss things, find out about what's going on, and so on and so forth. This will enable you to connect your heart firmly with your Creator on your own is just studying. But to connect your heart with Allah, it is the masjid. No other alternative. No other alternative. Second, brotherhood and sisterhood, how to be close to each other, live in harmony, tolerate each other, forgive each other, help each other, not to have any animosity, not to fight each other, and so on and so forth. And the third foundation, our relationship with people around us. I scanned the map of the Muslim world, try to find out what is going on if you go from west in Algeria, Islamists and seculars. If Islamists won election there, secular and military will be after them till they get rid of all of them in like 10 years of fighting, and many thousands of people are killed. Muslims. I'm not talking about non-Muslims are attacking Muslims. No, Muslims are fighting each other. Three foundations are not there. The masjid, the teaching of Allah, the teaching of Rasulullah, brotherhood, sisterhood, and relationship with people around us. Tunisia, we have seen, subhanAllah. If Islamists are running for election, parliament, or president, you'll find seculars or whoever are fighting Islamists and big deal. Muslims. And I'm not talking about non-Muslims fighting Muslims. No, Muslims. Libya, the same thing. Those who are in the eastern part of it, with some guys there, why you people adhere to Islam, try to dominate everything? Let's fight them. Muslims are fighting Muslims. That connectedness with the heart with Allah is not there. That brotherhood and sisterhood, live in harmony and peace is not there. East of Libya, Egypt. هم شعب وإحنا شعب. Divided. A group of people are different from us. Muslim, Egyptian. We're not talking about sectarian, Coptic and Muslims, though there is some tension as well. Go to Sudan, divided because of the fighting. South and North, yes, Christians and Muslims, they were living in harmony for so many years, but somehow either internal forces or external forces had been dividing them to fight. And it would end up divide Sudan, north and south. And God knows what is coming. Whether we would have another state in the west or another state in the east. And the Sudan would end up with a little tiny piece of the original Sudan. Somalia. How many years of fighting? Clans and tribes. Muslims. Muslims. Saying La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah. How many years of fighting? How many years of devastating situation back there? No development. How many people were killed? How much of bloodshed? Yemen, Houthiyyin and non-Houthiyyin, but they were all Muslims. All Muslims. They all claim we are Muslims. But they are fighting, killing each other, day and night. Gulf states, one state is in favor of that country and another one is against. And even in their meeting, they cannot come up with one defined, united goal to say that we're helping this. And who's in favor of whomever? Muslims. Who are against Muslims. Palestine. Fatah and Hamas. Muslims. Iraq. Maybe we would add that flavor of Shia. And Syria. Druze and Alawiyin and Sunni media, يعني you are in the top of everyone. Mainly because we do not follow the teaching of that verse of the Quran. You are the best nation ever, has been brought up to all mankind. تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. You know, call people for the best thing ever, and you forbid all of the bad things ever, and you help people around, and we live in harmony, we tolerate each other, we forgive each other, and we help each other, and so on and so forth. Sectarian kind of division, disunited, mainly, the three foundations are not there. The house of Allah, we don't come into it anymore. We do not need it. I don't need to learn from scholars. I don't need to study my deen. I don't need to connect my heart firmly with my Creator. And a brotherhood and a sisterhood, I don't care. As long as I'm doing fine, I don't care about anyone around me. I don't care. And my relationship with non-Muslims around me, I don't care either. But for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he did care in al-Madinah. And that's why he was able and capable of establishing the best nation ever, the best state ever, if you study the history of mankind. Three factors were applied, were studied first, understood, comprehended, and applied. That's what he did. That's why you will find Islam here in North America, in Minnesota, by those who are very, very, very sincere to be good brothers and good sisters, to help each other, to communicate with each other. That is missing. That is missing. And again, talking about that area of the part of the world, isn't it that area the cradle and the birthplace of the three sacred religions? Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all of them were born in that area of the world. Yet, it is the most troubled area. As if we forgot. Musa was not there, Jesus was not there, Muhammad was not there. It could be some other aliens from somewhere else. And whether it is internal forces causing all of this trouble and division and disunity, or external ones, or both combined, but we still held accountable before our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslims. We're talking about brotherhood and sisterhood in the last couple of weeks. We have wonderful examples of the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how they were really, truly brothers and sisters in Islam. Seeing the story of Bilal ibn Rabah and Abu Dharr al-Ghifari radiallahu anhu. I've seen the Persian Salman fit into that wonderful Islam to be part of it. Bilal, the same thing. Suhaib al-Rumi from Rome, coming to Islam, not an Arab, not Persian. No, it's a foreign national person, but coming to Islam, adhere to Islam, believe in Islam, part of Islam, living with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the companions in Arabia at that time, and willing to sacrifice anything he could own in order for Islam to be in the best esteem, the highest esteem ever. Suhaib ibn Sanan, the revelation of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, the order came to him to leave Mecca and find another safe haven in Al-Madinah. So Muhammad left Mecca along with some of the Sahaba, very few of them, and some others stayed there in order to join him later. One of them was Suhaib ibn Salam, Aba Yahya. When he decided to leave, of course, you know, the Quraysh people, pagans, disbelievers are watching who's moving in and who's moving out. Suhaib is about to move out, saying, where are you going? Saying, to join Muhammad. No, wait a minute. And you're going to take all of your fortune and wealth with you? He said, yeah, this is mine. I said, no. One condition. Leaving Mecca to go to Al-Madinah, to join your Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, you have to leave everything behind you. Give up all of your wealth, your fortune, your money, in order for you to go join him. يعني جئتنا صعلوكا. This is exactly what they told him. You came with nothing. You worth nothing. And now you made all of this wealth and fortune, and you want to take it with you to Muhammad to help him financially and support him? No, no, no. Leave it here. Leave it. And he said, okay, I will leave it in order to go and join him in Medina. I will leave it. I'm not going to take it. If that's the condition you put on me, this is the way. A companion of him, of Muhammad, follower of him, how much he can sacrifice for him and for Islam, to join him there. From a far distance, Muhammad was waiting for him to come. A far distance, Suhaib is coming to Al-Madinah. Muhammad among his companions said, رَبِحَ الْبَيْعُ أَبَا يَحْيَا رَبِحَ الْبَيْعُ. And the Sahaba, the companions, were wondering and said, what is he talking about? Aba Yahya, we know that Suhaib ibn Salam. What is he? And he said, he's coming. You have won. By leaving all of your wealth and fortune there to them, but you came to join Islam, to work for Islam, in order to be with your brothers in Islam in Al-Madinah. Not to stay there, take care of your business there. No, this is the sacrifice. To join the Prophet, the leader, and to join his brothers in Al-Madinah. Because they welcomed him when he came. They helped him when he came. They never labeled him as a foreign national. They never told him, you're not an Arab. They never told him, you do not belong. Go back to where you came from. No, they welcome him, help him, support him. This is the way. Brothers in Islam. Not fighting, not bloodshedding. Not living in a very, very devastating situation. Anywhere you go. If you belong to this group, you do not belong to that group. Period. Period. Maybe the color of your skin, maybe you're foreign national, maybe the language you're speaking, they can categorize you and put you in that category. You do not belong to us, you belong to someone else. Leave that planet, go live somewhere else. This is not the teaching of Islam. Brotherhood and a sisterhood. If you'd like to have again and again and again prosperous, successful, well-being community, have the house of Allah teaching Islam there with the scholar, have the brotherhood and sisterhood, and have that relationship with non-Muslims around you to govern your life. Any of them missing or all of them missing, don't call this community a community. Call it a bunch of people, but it's living somewhere. And that's what we have seen all over. And I'm wondering why this country, this nation, 50 states. 50 states. Yeah, have we here? I haven't. About one state would declare that no, we want to be out of that union. No. I am. 50 states, united. Economy, yes. Federal government. united, not divided. There is a calamity or a disaster somewhere in one of the states, we declare a case of emergency, whole nation, in order to go and help. Wonderful, great. Aren't we learning? Aren't we learning? Aren't we looking around to see what is going on around us? Are we wasting our resources or killing each other or bloodshedding? Subhanallah. Though it isn't the teaching of Islam. It is. If we do not utilize it, don't blame anyone but yourself. But yourself. If you look at the Sahaba, the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Abu Bakr to Umar to Osman to Ali to Bilal to Suhaib to Salman, they never brought out that word of I am an Arab and you are not Arab. And as we have seen, when it was mentioned once of Abu Dhar telling Bilal, you are a son of a black woman, Ibn Sawda. We have seen how Prophet Muhammad was so mad, just calling him. Just calling him. You're a mother of a black lady, which is a fact. He is a son of a black lady. But the way he I believe that each and every single one of us Muslims got to go back and study the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his biography, and learn something from him, and learn something from those Sahaba when they decided to establish their community to be the best community ever brought out to mankind in order to spread Islam all over in a very peaceful way. Everywhere. We have to go back to those roots. Otherwise, I don't know what might happen to us. We have the land, we have the resources, we have all the means to make us the best nation ever, united, not divided, and we have Islam. Yet, we are in the bottom of that list of developed nations, united nations. Go back to the seerah, go back to the biography of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As in the Hijrah of Mustafa, البر لا يبلى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت والإيمان الخطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون والتائب من الذنب كمن لا ذنب له ادعوا الله وأنتم مؤمنون به. الحمد لله وكفى سلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. الحمد لله واشهد ان لا اله الا الله واصلي وسلم على رسول الله صلاه وتسليما يليقان بالحبيب المصطفى النبي المجتبى صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى اله وصحبه وتابعه تابعه الى يوم الدين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, our sons and daughters of future of Islam, our dear guests. Picture might look very dark. Reality might look very bitter. But this is the reality of us. If we're living in a denial, pretending everything is okay, we're mistaken. Yeah, someone will go and visit back home and say, Allah, everything is okay. What do you mean everything is okay? Don't you see this bloodshed? Don't you see those behind bars? Don't you see those in prison? Don't you see killing each other day and night? Don't you see all of those fighting? It is a wake-up call for us. before it's too late. Go back to the way of Allah. Don't go back to the way of any of those so-called leaders. They don't deserve to be leaders of Allah. Allah, they don't. They don't. And don't wait for anyone to help you unless and until you help yourself. You start from within first. How? You yourself be united with yourself. Know who you are, what you can contribute. Look how you are a wonderful asset of your community individually. Business, be the best ever. Education, have the highest ever. Money to make, do it in the best way ever. Individually. Connect your heart with Allah first. And then as a family, husband and wife, are we good to each other? Or just husband and wife? By the end of the day or more, did you cook? Yes. Did you clean? Yes. Let's eat. Okay, let's sleep. Okay. And so on and so forth. 365 days a year, it's the same thing. But how we are united, how we're helping each other's spouses, parents and the children, just once within the same house under one roof. You individual, husband and wife, spouses, children, one family, community. This is the way. Start from within first. Have reconciliation with yourself. Where are you from the teaching of Allah and the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Where are you from Islam? How much you learn in order to apply? This is the way. Don't wait for anyone to correct things around you. Start yourself first. Each and every single one of us does his and her homework Islamically, you'll see us different. Don't wait for that president or that Amir or Wakil or Ghafir or idiot to change things for us. Wallahi, no. They are okay. They are settled. They have the money, they have the wealth, they have the oil, they have the gambling things, and they don't care about us. They don't. They do not care about us. Care about yourself. No one is going to do any good for you except you. No one is going to scratch your skin. You are. No one is going to be held accountable for our deed except me and you. Each one, كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة. Each and every single one of us is held accountable before his creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for what he is doing, what he's thinking, what he's studying, what he's teaching, what he's learning. This is the way. That's why the community would be built this way. You yourself first. Your relationship with Allah. You yourself first with your spouse. You yourself first along with your spouse, your children. And then the family. And then number of family. And then the community. And then the society. And then the whole world. This is the way. Like it or not, believe it or not, this is the way, and there is no any other solution. In a hadith al-Qudsi, Al-Iman Mosque سبحانه وتعالى سبعة يظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله. 7 categories of people will be shaded by the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment, where there is no other shade to help us, protect us from the flames of the hellfire and that sun which is very close to our heads, burning us several times. We need that shade. And we need to be in one of those categories, if not in all of them. One of them, أخان تحابا في الله اجتمعا عليه وتفرقا true brothers, not blood brothers. They get together for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing Him, helping each other, supporting each other, be sincere to each other. When they get together, it's for the sake of Him, the Creator. When they go each one of them in his way or her way, it is also for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't need any gain or anything to pay me back for what I have done for you. The same thing with you for me. This is the way. This is the way. We need to do it here in our dunya, in our world. As when I'm in a big trouble in my life, the only one who should and must come and help me is my brother and my sisters in Islam. We have a lot of problems, we have a lot of challenges in our life, and we need each other. We do. We do. And if we don't, where we can go, to whom we can go, what kind of help we can have for people around us. We may ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to penetrate that wonderful faith of Islam deeply in our heart, to connect our hearts and soul and mind with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost, and with the teacher Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to be more closer to each other and intensify that wonderful relationship of being wonderful, great, sincere brothers and sisters in Islam to each other, and find out what kind of relationship we should have for people around us. It would be our topic for the next few weeks, inshallah. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين وعلم فضلك راية الحق والدين وانصرنا على عدوك وعدونا يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر من نصر أمة محمد واجعلنا منهم واخذل من خذل أمة محمد ولا تجعلنا منهم اللهم ول أمورنا خيرنا ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وفك أسرانا وكن لنا ولا تكن علينا اللهم برحمتك أمنا واكفنا شر ما أهمنا وعلى الإيمان الكامل والكتاب والسنة توفنا وأنت راض عنا اغفر اللهم لنا ولإخواننا في الله تعالى أحياء وأموات ولكل المسلمين أجمعين إليه هذا حلنا لا يخفى عليك وهذا ضعفنا ظاهر بين يديك فعاملنا بالإحسان إذ الفضل منك وإليك واختم لنا بخاتمة السعادة أجمعين عباد الله إن الله يأمركم بثلاث وينهاكم عن ثلاث إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه يزدكم قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني ويرحمكم الله وأستغفركم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله. استقيموا استووا اعتدلوا. Dear our guests, you do not have to participate in the congregation. If you'd like to be seated somewhere and watch what's going on, feel free to do that. You do not have to participate in our prayer. There are some chairs here this side or the other side. I'm addressing the gentlemen and our dear ladies back there. You can be seated and watch what's going on. Okay? A noble request I do have for all of you. We do have a sister who's among us today, and she's asking us sincerely to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant her a speedy recovery, inshallah.